G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to take a look at how well the miracle making Final Showdown Goku GT and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta does in the Cell Max event at 100% of the hidden potential system. Now, full disclaimer as always for the Cell Max event, the Cell Max event is an event that is best taken on by units that have a large amount of damage reduction, evasion, guard, or a combination of any two of these three abilities. Because of this, and because of how the event is structured, the event being an event that has the first two phases not lasting a particularly long time, whilst the final phase is incredibly difficult and a large jump up in difficulty, creates a very unique event whereby units have to have a very specific set of strong defensive skills or have a very strong level of offensive capabilities to counteract and manage the workload that occurs from Cell Max. Now, functionally, it is quite different to other events that are available in Dokkan, and this makes it a pretty interesting barometer for a unit, but because a unit does not tank a Cell Max Super does not mean that that unit is bad. That's just the one thing that I do want to get out of the way. Now, obviously in today's video we're taking a look at the 8th anniversary LR Goku GT and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. They are a Power of Wishes or Battle of Fate category lead of 170% with an additional 30% for Final Trump Card or Shadow Dragon Saga. They raise attack on their 12 key, raise their defense for 1 turn, greatly raise attack on their 18 key, greatly raise their defense for 1 turn on their 18 key, and in terms of passive, they have a pretty interesting one: 200% attack and defense, an additional 50% when HP is 50% or more, 1 key sphere, and 100% defense as the first attacker in the turn, and an additional key plus 2 per key sphere obtained, and an additional attack of 100% as the second or third attacker in the turn. It also launches an additional attack. There's a great chance of becoming a super attack at 18 key or more, and a guaranteed additional 24 key. They get key plus 1 and damage reduction at 10% with each super attack performed. The standby skill can be activated when HP is 50% or less, or from the 4th turn when they have received 4 or more attacks in battle, which is pretty decent. Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Experienced Fighters, GT, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power are their link set, and they're on a crap ton of category. Well, I'd say a decent chunk of categories. It's actually not a crap ton. In their standby phase, they have attack of 250%, defense of 150% when HP is 50% or more. They give all allies 8 key and 80% attack, which is pretty ridiculous. They also have a revive if they take an attack that should defeat them, and they get an additional plus 39% attack when the finish effect is activated. Once they are KO'd, they will counter the enemy with tremendous power, or super intensive power I should say, and they also greatly raise their attack whilst raising the attack for all allies by 40% with their 18 key super. So they are pretty interesting. Honestly, I quite like their design. I think overall they're a pretty fun unit to like use and get used to using and try use in the game. So I do find them to be an interesting unit. I think for me they are a lot of fun. The animations are good, and yeah, I think they're very good in certain situations. Well, most situations I should say. But yeah, this animation is pretty good, by the way. So I do really quite like this animation. I think it's like super duper solid. The animations in general were really good. I know some people had issues with the voice acting. I personally don't have any issue with the voice lines they used. I think they were very good. So yeah, but honestly speaking, just a really solid unit that does a very good job, which I think at the end of the day is not all you can ask for an anniversary, because obviously for an anniversary the whole hype thing is there. But I think these guys are hype enough, at least from my perspective. I find them to have a really nice card art, and although I prefer the Buu Saga Duo aesthetically, I think these guys are still very good. Now the only issue you're going to encounter with them is the first attacker principle in their passive. Now, first attacker, unfortunately, means that it only really triggers in the first slot once they fire their super attack. And this is a relatively limiting factor. It's something that can cause you a couple issues. So you do just need to be aware of that before you start, trying to play around and get certain results or do certain things. It's important to understand exactly how they work. Now, obviously, the damage reduction is pretty helpful, but without type advantage, they are in a little bit of a sticky situation in the some accident. 50% damage reduction is great, but it's not really enough, at least on the surface level. Beyond that, there's not really too much to say. We're going to see here them take a super attack without using their standby skill. Decent number of links active. They got a good support on the rotation. And we're just going to see how much damage they take, because that's ultimately what we're all here for. And you can see before they fire their super, there's just really nothing there. So they need to fire off that super in that first slot to activate all of their defensive buffs. Now we've got the revive unit, who's also going to be knocked out. And we'll just get a nice good look at the revive. In this state, they also take huge damage, as one can imagine, especially below 50% health. But that is the point. For those of you who wonder, it's not really for them to survive this phase. They're not meant to survive the standby skill. If they do, it's great, but realistically, he's here to provide some big damage to the rotation when he's not being utilized to take the revive. And then also Vegeta as well. Well, I mean, the damage they do is also slightly reduced. But I think overall, they're a very, very good, very fun unit, and I like them a lot. I personally think they're great. I think they do a very solid job, and I think they look good. I think the revive is always useful. A revive that does good damage is also always very useful. Worst case scenario, if you've got other stronger defensive units, you can stick them in the first slot and have these guys act as a pseudo support. But obviously you want to get that revive off as quick as possible. No real benefit, but just because of the damage and everything, it's a good skill to have in utilization. You can basically choose when you want to activate your revive, which is always something that's pretty helpful. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you've been trying them out in different content. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, bye.